All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. And boy, do I have a good one for you today. And this is a follow-up to a video that I did a few months ago about Bambu's cloud and using LAN only. And today we're finally going to give the boot to the cloud and get it the heck out of here. So in my previous video, the pros obviously of it were using your own network, but the cons were that you couldn't use the camera, you couldn't use the Bambu Handy app. The not being able to use the camera or to monitor your prints while they're printing was too much for me, because on Saturday evenings we do the live Q&A and I usually print something cool and we get to watch the print fail and me do it one or two times during that live stream. And without having access to the camera, we really can't do that. So I was forced to go back to the cloud, even though I really wanted to be in LAN only mode. Now, a couple of weeks ago, there was an issue with Bambu's cloud, and it sent some rogue prints out afterwards, which I think are just prints that people had sent while the cloud was down. When the cloud became active again, those prints came back down, and maybe some of those prints got crossed. I didn't happen to have any prints in the queue during that time, so I didn't run into that issue. Earlier this week, you might have seen on my community post, I was asking if anybody else was having an issue with Bambu's awesome cloud, as I was having an issue and I couldn't print, nor could I use my camera. And I really needed to get something printed for my wood shop up in the garage. So I decided to quickly move it over to LAN only mode so that I could get the print accomplished. While I was there, I noticed that there's now an option to use the camera over LAN only mode, and I got really excited about that. Matter of fact, I turned it to LAN only mode, turned the camera on, and I haven't looked back since. Now, the only thing that I have lost in this process is the access to the Bambu Handy app. The only thing that I really find that useful for is monitoring your prints from away from home. And the only thing that I find that useful for is to watch your house burn down from a ways away. I don't really recommend that you print when you're away from home. It's not very safe. I do not recommend that. So today we're going to go over how to set up your printer in LAN only mode with the camera active so that we can do that. So if you're a new user setting up your brand new Bambu and you want to use it in LAN only mode, if you're a returning user and you've been using it for a while and you've only been using the SD card, or you've been using LAN only mode and haven't connected the camera yet, I'm going to show you where that setting is so you can turn it on and get that same functionality. Now, again, the only thing that we're going to lose is access to the Bambu Handy app. Now, if you have been using the cloud and you have been worried about the rogue prints and you have been worried about if you designed something, you're sending your print to who knows where, please somebody, if you know, tell me what country. All of the servers that handle Bambu's clouds are at. If you know what country they're in, I would sure like to know. And it seems kind of ridiculous that we can't just send stuff over the local area network. Why do we need to send stuff over a server and who knows where? So if you're a new user, if you've never connected your printer to Wi-Fi before in fear of having to send everything over the cloud, or if you've been using the cloud this whole time because you wanted to have access to the camera, but now you don't want to use the cloud and still have access to the camera, then today's video is perfect for you. So, if all that sounds good, then sit back and relax, and I'll get everything ready. All right, so the first thing that we'll do is I'm going to give some basics on how to set up your Wi-Fi network for all the new users that are out there. This is how you would set up your network. Or for those of you that haven't been using Wi-Fi or the wireless functionality in the printer in the past, this is how you would do it. So most of your Wi-Fi networks are on 192.168.0.1. okay, which is a local network address, we'll call it, right? And most of your routers are on that network and distribute everything under that 192.168.0.1. Some of them might be 10.0.0.1 or something like that, but generally it's this network or whatever it is to log into your router. Type in that IP address. I don't know why Google does this. I think all of the other browsers do this as well, but they tell you that you're not doing something kosher by logging into your router. I don't know why logging into your router is unsafe, but go ahead, Google. So this is my router and my setup and everything, so I'll log into it from there. And then I'll show everybody how to set up your networks. All right, so generally under your network page, wherever you create your Wi-Fi network or what have you, or where it is already created, you can go in here. And the thing that you're going to want to look for is the Wi-Fi band. And as you can see here, my network has both the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi bands selected. And that's probably the ideal way that you'll want to do it, unless you want to just have a completely separate network for the Bambu printer, which, again, if that's what you think you need, go ahead. All right, so once you have both of these selected, just go ahead and name your network and choose your password. And if you do just want to have one network to do all of this, then all of your wireless stuff that uses 5 gigahertz will log in with the same network ID and password, and then your Bambu will log in under this 2.4. So go ahead and get your network set up with your password and everything, and make sure that you select the 2.4 gigahertz network. All right, now that we have our Wi-Fi network set up and it's in 2.4, it's time for us to go ahead and connect to our network, as well as turn on LAN only mode and turn on the camera. So we'll hit this little gear right there. And the first thing that we need to turn on is this LAN mode live view. And what that does is that is the button that allows you to see the camera when you're in LAN only mode. So if you have been in LAN only mode this entire time and have not been using the camera, that's the button that you need to turn on in order to get the camera to work. Now we'll go to our network. We'll connect to our network. I'm not going to show how to do that, but you click on that and turn on your, or put in your password or whatever. And again, it's 2.4, just like I showed a minute ago. And you go ahead and get that connected. Once you have that connected, take a picture or write down your access code right here. And then you're going to turn on LAN only mode. And you'll be confronted with this warning sign here, which isn't all the way true. It says it's going to disable connectivity with Bambu Studio and with Bambu Handy. It still connects to Studio, it just doesn't connect to Handy anymore. So we're going to click yes to continue. And now we're all set up for LAN only mode. All right, so now that we've connected the printer to the wireless network and we've turned on LAN mode and LAN live view, LAN mode live view, now it's time to connect our printer to Bambu Studio. And how we're going to do that is by going here to the device page. And you'll see now that I turned on LAN only mode, it's asking me to add a printer. If you do this directly after going off of the cloud and doing this, you'll just see that your old printer isn't accessible anymore. The little Wi-Fi thing is gone. So we'll go ahead and hit add printer, and then we'll see that we have my Bambu X1C, and we'll see that it says LAN right there. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. And since I've connected before, it didn't ask me for the little passphrase or whatever. But if this is your first time setting everything up, this, I believe, a pop-up screen would come up here and you'll need to enter that little passphrase that I showed in the previous screen. So as you can see, we're in LAN mode, so we'll go ahead and test the camera. And if you remember in my last video, when I clicked that button, it said that it couldn't load it. And there we can see that we have access to the Bambu, and there's the awesome gold PEI plate that is in there. All right, so now that we have everything set up, let's do our favorite thing in the world and print a Nimitz Binchi and do it over the local area network or LAN only mode. I'll show this trick once again. I'm going to change the color of this. We want to use this Bambu red right here. So we're going to change the color of this just by pressing the number 2 on my keypad here. And that allows me to change the color of the filament. So let's go ahead and slice this. And we'll see that it's going to take a little over an hour, and we're going to hit print. We don't need to do flow calibration. We will do the time lapse on this, and we'll see that it does have the X1C with the LAN in parentheses. And the important thing to look at here is when I hit send, we'll see that it's not sending it over the cloud like it said before, right? It would say printing job or sending job through the cloud. So you'd have to send your job to a cloud that would then send it back over your network that just sent it out back to your printer, which was highly inefficient. And I don't see the need for that. But this is going to send it directly to our printer over the local area network. So let's go ahead and hit send, and you'll see that it said sending over LAN. And then it's going to switch over to our device page, and the camera turns on right away. So pretty awesome. I'll go ahead and let this print the Nimitz Binchi, and I'll see you for my final thoughts. All right, so one thing that I realized when going to download the time lapse for the Binchi that you just saw is that in LAN only mode, you don't actually have access to the SD card to download those. So I didn't even realize that until just now. So I thought I would point that out, that you don't have access to download stuff off of your SD card. You'll have to go and physically take it out. All right, so as you can see, we successfully printed in LAN only mode, and we were able to watch it on the camera the whole time. So really, really cool. We don't have to use the cloud anymore to utilize the camera, and we don't need it to send our prints over. The only downsides are you don't get access to the micro SD card to download your time lapses directly to the computer, which was very useful, and you don't get access to Bambu Handy, the mobile app, which I don't particularly use that often. So I would highly recommend if you are new to printing or, have been here for a while and you've been worried about the cloud stuff, if you read the articles and everything that happened in the past few weeks and everything like that, or if you just want to use your own network because you think it's ridiculous to have to use the cloud to do some of these things, then this video has been perfect for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe, because I do have some great content on the way as well. And if you want to help me print more filament and print more of these honeycomb walls, be sure to reach out to me on Patreon and support me there. And with that, I'll go ahead and wrap the video up. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. Thanks for watching. Thank you.